Hello, my friends. Today, I want to tell you about a man who started as a young doctor but became one of the most powerful symbols of revolution in the world. His name was Che Guevara. How did a quiet boy from Argentina become a global icon of rebellion? And why is his face still seen everywhere today? Stay with me. It was a warm morning in Argentina, 1928. A baby boy was born into a middle-class family. His name was Ernesto Guevara. From the beginning, his life was not easy. He suffered from severe asthma. Sometimes he could not breathe. Sometimes he could not sleep. Other children ran and played, but Ernesto often stayed inside, fighting for air. But this struggle made him strong. He learned something early. Pain does not stop you unless you let it. It was a quiet afternoon. Young Ernesto sat surrounded by books. He loved reading, history, philosophy, poetry. He read everything. He admired great thinkers. He questioned the world. Even as a child, he was different. He was not satisfied with simple answers. He wanted truth. Years passed. Ernesto grew into a young man. He decided to study medicine. He wanted to help people. He wanted to fight suffering. But something inside him was still searching. He felt that the world was bigger than classrooms and hospitals. He needed to see it. It was a bright day in 1951. Ernesto stood beside an old motorcycle. Next to him was his friend Alberto. They had a dream to travel across South America, not for fun, but to discover reality. They started their journey across mountains, across deserts, through small villages and big cities, and what they saw changed everything. It was a cold night in Chile. Ernesto saw miners living in terrible conditions. They worked all day. They earned almost nothing. They were tired. They were forgotten. No one helped them. Ernesto watched silently. Something inside him broke. Later, in Peru, he visited a leper colony. Sick people were separated from society. They were treated like they were not human. But Ernesto did something different. He touched them. He spoke to them. He treated them with respect. For him, they were not just patients. They were people. With every mile, his view of the world changed. He started to see a pattern: poverty, injustice, inequality. Everywhere. He asked himself, why do some people have everything while others have nothing? This journey transformed Ernesto. He returned home, but he was not the same person anymore. The young medical student was gone. A new man was born, a man who wanted change. It was a fateful meeting in Mexico City. Ernesto met a man named Fidel Castro. Castro had a plan. He wanted to overthrow the government of Cuba. He believed the system was corrupt. He believed the people deserved better. Ernesto listened carefully. This was not just talk. This was action. For the first time, he saw a path. Ernesto made a decision. He would join the revolution. He was no longer just a doctor. He became a fighter. It was during this time that he earned a new name, Che, a simple word from Argentina, but soon the world would know it. It was a dangerous journey. Che and the revolutionaries sailed to Cuba. They faced hunger. They faced fear. They faced death. Many did not survive. But Che kept going. Through jungles, through mountains, he fought with determination. He treated wounded soldiers. He led attacks. He became both healer and warrior. It was a turning point. The revolution grew stronger. More people joined. More people believed. And in 1959, victory. The government fell. Fidel Castro took power, and Che Guevara became one of the most important men in Cuba. Now Che had power. He held important positions. He worked in government. He helped shape the new Cuba. But something inside him was restless. He did not want comfort. He did not want luxury. He believed the revolution should not stop in one country. He wanted to change the world. It was a bold idea. Che believed injustice existed everywhere, and if you fight for justice, you must fight everywhere. So he left Cuba. He left power. He left safety. He chose the unknown. It was a dangerous mission. Che traveled to Africa. He tried to support other revolutions, but things did not go as planned. The conditions were difficult. The people were not ready. The mission failed. But Che did not give up. It was his final journey. He went to Bolivia. He wanted to start another revolution, but this time things were different. He was isolated. He had little support. The army was hunting him. Every day was a risk. It was a dark moment. Che was captured. He was tired. He was injured, but he was not afraid. They asked him questions. They tried to break him, but he stayed strong. It was the end. In 1967, Che Guevara was executed. He was only 39 years old. His body was gone, but his story was just beginning. Something unexpected happened. Che became an icon. His face, captured in a single photograph, spread across the world, on posters, on shirts, on walls, everywhere. But why? Why did this man become an icon? Not because he was perfect, not because everyone agreed with him, but because he stood for something. He believed in change. He believed in fighting injustice. He believed in action. For some people, Che is a hero. For others, he is controversial. But no one can ignore him. He represents a powerful idea that one person can challenge the system. Che Guevara's story teaches us something important. Life is not always about comfort. Sometimes it's about purpose. He left everything behind to follow what he believed was right. Whether you agree with him or not, that courage is rare. From a sick child in Argentina to a revolutionary in the jungles, from a doctor to a global symbol, Che Guevara walked a path few would dare to follow. A path of risk, a path of belief, a path of sacrifice. And maybe the real question is not who was Che Guevara, but what do you believe in strongly enough to fight for? Thank you for listening to this story. If you enjoyed it, please like this video and subscribe to Storyline English for more stories that help you learn English naturally. And tell me in the comments, do you see Che as a hero or something else? See you in the next story, my friends.